Hello, my name is Dylan Hoyos, and for my ethnographic research project, I decided to go into a specific route of food. I think food is important to every single culture. I have a beautiful girlfriend who's Filipina. I've started to kind of get into the culture, but I wanted to learn more about the food side of things. I reached out to some amazing people from the Philippines who moved to America, so they have a great perspective on what food means to the Filipino culture. So with me, I have Beatrice Tumala and Bim Tumala. Welcome, guys. Welcome to this video.
Thank you. I mean, like what you mentioned, I think every culture has that kind of
special relationship
with
food.
and it's different per the regions. Filipinos are also food-driven people.
Absolutely. So let's start off with the first question. So what are some iconic, important, and unusual Filipino dishes?
So the Philippines is made up of 7,000 islands. So each region or each area really does have their way of making certain foods.
So for the US, they've always thought of lumpia as the iconic dish, but I feel like iconic dish would be adobo, like chicken.
I think so, because adobo is so common in the Philippines that each region would have their own version.
Because you can make
adobo.
You can make pork adobo, you can make chicken adobo, and it still tastes the same.
You can even make
it's different, but it's the same.
Fish, like,
Fish.
And the adobo in the Philippines is not the spice.
Yeah.
It's actually an entire dish. So it's a stew. So it's soy sauce mixed with vinegar, pepper, and bay leaves. Those are the basic ingredients, but each region has their own twist on it.
Plus, normally people just cook adobo, and it's
easy to prepare. It's not very expensive, and it's also the first dish that I learned how to make.
Yeah. I think rice.
Rice, yes, that's true. It's not a foodie without rice.
No. There's no rice, no one's eating.
Yeah, I guess lechon, right?
I think so. Yeah. I mean, people from north to south like and love lechon.
And
it's just cooked differently per region, but like lechon is, I think, top of mind if you're thinking of iconic.
Yeah, something that Bim likes, but I don't like it so much. It's called dinuguan. This is a pork stew, and when you Google photos of it, it's black. But it's pork meat with pork blood. But lots of Filipinos love it. Bim loves it very much.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there's this dish that I like because I don't get to eat much of it because it's normally just prepared during parties. It's called lengua. It's ox tongue.
Ooh.
And most Filipino dishes are very savory, very saucy. It's either a broth or a stew. Lengua is a stew. So the traditional dish is called lengua estofado. Lengua estofado, if I'm not mistaken, is ox tongue with a tomato-based sauce. However, even if that is the traditional dish that you'll mostly hear about or read about, what's mostly prepared in parties is, I guess, a modernized version, but they just call it creamy lengua in white mushroom sauce. You know, when you taste the creamy lengua version with white mushroom sauce, you wouldn't know that it's tongue unless you're very discerning or someone would tell you.
Yeah,
that's how good it is. It tastes like stroganoff. Whenever I attend Filipino parties or gatherings, definitely that would be in my takeout box.
Okay. Why are these dishes specifically made in the Philippines? Is it just the resources that you guys have and you try to utilize as much as you can of the animals?
There are several islands in the Philippines. Aside from the fishing folk, there are also people who live in farms. So they try to utilize whatever it is that's around them. Filipinos, in general, don't like wasting anything, especially food. In my family, my mom would always tell me, you can scrimp on anything, you can scrimp on shopping, you can put a budget on whatever, but you don't put a budget on food.
Okay.
So I think that's why there are lots of dishes composed of different weird animal parts, because Filipinos don't like wasting food. Another way to look at it is that there's really poverty in the Philippines, so if the rich people take the good part of the meat, the rest will do what they can with whatever, right?
Yeah.
Essentially, not wasting anything.
So it's a grim picture, but that's how it is.
Yeah. Next question is, what does food mean / represent to the Filipino culture?
Every time there's a gathering, people would always have a potluck. And it's usually showing off your cooking skills and what you can cook essentially for Filipinos, it's usually what you cook and what you bring in. So for instance,
Okay.
if there's a birthday party, people would say, "Oh, I'm bringing adobo. Oh, I'm bringing the lechon." It's just ingrained in the culture that each and every Filipino should know how to cook.
I do believe that the Filipino culture really prioritizes community, family, and relationships.
Okay.
And that really translates to how they treat food. So, food is not just something that you eat to get nourishment from. Food is really all about being together and spending time with your loved ones. That's why celebrations aren't really celebrations without food. The richest of the rich will celebrate with lots of food. Celebrate with the entire town, celebrate with their extended family, celebrate with their neighbors, celebrate with their friends, and they would call all of that their family. And the poorest of the poor, no matter how little they have, they will try to celebrate with something, whether it's homemade spaghetti, whether it's chicken joy, whether it's instant noodles. Every celebration has to have food at the center of it. So
Okay.
I think that's why.
Little known fact: Beatrice is very famous in
I'm not.
but she used to work for Jollibee. It is a massive fast food chain in the Philippines. But Beatrice used to work in the marketing department. So when it comes to Jollibee, how integral is it to the Philippines?
Oh, there's Jollibee in every
It's
single
like the
corner.
default. It's one of those fast food chains where if you don't have something to eat, that's the first thing that you think of, like Jollibee.
Jollibee really knows how important or how integral food is to every Filipino family. And I'm not saying every Filipino family, because Jollibee is a family-owned company and treats their employees and the entire Philippines and every Filipino who lives outside the Philippines as their family. So that's their point of view. Jollibee's mission statement is to serve great tasting food and bring joy to every Filipino family, or to every family in general, not just every Filipino family truly did grow up with Jollibee.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's how integral it is in the Filipino culture.
It's ingrained since day one.
So Filipinos not just see eating or food as a source of joy or something to bring the family or the community together, but it's also their way of expressing love. Here in America, you pass by someone in the hallway and you go, "How are you?" "Oh, how are you?" It's not like they're trying to strike conversation, right? So in the Philippines, "How are you?" is not the first statement that you'll ever hear.
Ah, yeah.
It's kumain ka na.
Or
So
have you eaten?
So how are you?
Okay.
Have
Yeah.
you eaten?
Yeah, it's literally that. Like every time we see someone and we're familiar, like, "Oh, hey, have you eaten?"
It's not about the food, it's about the people eating the food. It's about being around the people, enjoying
About togetherness. If it's not
Yeah.
family, it's togetherness, it's community, it's like being
Social.
being social, having that relationship with the people around you.
Yeah.
Okay. That segues the best to the final question, which is, where can we find authentic food in the Northern Virginia area, the DMV?
I have a couple in mind. Here in the US, what I mostly look for is authentic Filipino food, like home cooked meals. That's what I've been craving for since I moved here. So for that type of food, I would normally go to Fairfax Inn, because
Okay.
it's close to where I live. That's one. But then if I want to stock up, I would go to this Filipino store, and it's not fancy, Manila Oriental.
Yeah.
In Springfield.
Okay.
Normally I would go there and buy food for the entire week. Those two are my top go-tos for simple, home-cooked Filipino meals. If I want to feel a little bit more celebratory, or if it's a special day, I'd probably go to Purple Patch in DC. It's authentic, yes, but it's also a fusion.
It's pricey.
Okay.
too.
It's not your everyday restaurant. Kuya Ja in Maryland. So they serve lechon, but the lechon that they serve is more of a fast food style of lechon. I do believe that they have a made-to-order lechon, pork belly, in the traditional Cebu lechon way. I don't think they serve it every day. I think they only serve it on Thanksgiving or Christmas or something.
Well, I think that's everything.
Thanks for inviting us over. Like I said, we're glad to help.
All right. Well, I'll catch you guys later. Thank you again.
Okay, bye.
Thanks, Dylan.
Thank
All right.
you.
Bye.